Mrs. Bhavani,
Yes, sir.
you are now a deputy Tahsildar.
Yes, sir.
How long have you been
I've
working?
been working for 2 years, 6 months.
So you are already part of the civil service.
Yes, sir.
What is it called? Is it called the state civil service, or what's the designation given to your service? Is it called state service or subordinate service or what?
It's subordinate service.
Right. Tell us about yourself to the other members of the board.
Sir, I'm Bhavani. I'm native of Sri Satyasai district, sir. I was born and brought up in Hindupur. I have completed my engineering in electrical and electronics engineering from Sri Vidyanikethan Engineering College, Tirupati. Later, I done as a assistant system engineer at Tata Consultancy Services for a very few months. Later on, I wanted to pursue career in civil services. Therefore, I came into the preparation. Further, in 2016, I was selected in Group 2 as a junior assistant and worked in agriculture department for 2 years. Later on, I got into
Did you come to Bapatla any time for your training?
Yes,
When was that?
during 2018 or 19.
So you must have seen me.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Right. What's your, now you have been a deputy Tahsildar for almost 2 years.
Yes.
Now, there is a perception outside in the society that today's civil service probably they are compromising a little too soon members of the civil service. That's a perception outside. May be wrong, it may be right, it may be wrong. What do you feel?
Sir, may I know in what aspects the
Compromising in the sense they are not adhering to the norms, ethics that are expected of a bureaucrat.
Sir, I don't think so, sir. Nowadays, civil servants are from varied backgrounds, well educated from IITs, IIMs are coming into the service. I don't think they are coming either for money or some power. They want to pursue a career in administration and want to serve their country. Therefore, I don't think ethics levels are coming down nowadays, sir. They are satisfactory. I think so, sir.
You made a very interesting observation. Those who come from IITs, IIMs, their ethics are higher than those who do not come from those institutions. Is that right?
I do not mean that, sir.
Huh.
But people from such reputed institutes are coming into the public service.
You have heard of the subprime mortgage crisis in the United States?
Yes.
What was it?
Sir, I'm not able to.
Okay, it's about the crisis that beset the banking and insurance sector in the United States.
Yes.
And the brightest of the young graduates from Wharton, other IIMs, they have not been able to prevent that crisis.
Yes.
These organizations, they consist of very bright youngsters who have studied in the best of institutions. Anyway.
What I meant to say is, sir, they are sacrificing high-paying jobs and coming into the service. So they must be working hard to.
All right. Who are your role models in the IAS or civil service or maybe in public life?
Sir, Shankaran IAS.
What do you know of Shankaran?
Sir, I've heard he worked as a collector.
Where?
Guntur district, sir.
In
Guntur district, sir.
Guntur. Are you sure?
Nellore.
He was collector Nellore. See? Then?
He implemented the social schools, social welfare schools, and promoted. He worked for the improvement in agriculture and especially he have done service in the social sector, sir, upliftment of SCs, Safai Karmacharis, and other marginalized people.
Tell us about the Anantapur district.
Sir, unfortunately, Anantapur district is regarded as one of the backward districts in the state, sir.
Why? Is it unfortunate or fortunate? Okay, now please go ahead. Yeah.
It is situated in the rain-shadow region of Mysore Plateau, therefore it gets very less rainfall. almost the second less rainfall in the country is recorded in Anantapur district, sir.
But you are getting a lot of water from some projects. Which are they?
Sir, 100 years and GNSS.
That's all. There is no other project?
HLCs, high level development projects, sir. There are projects, sir, but they do not have assured water supplies. Sir. They are dependent on the floodwaters of Krishna River. Sir. So, due to the very less rainfall and heavily dependent on monsoon, agriculture has become unviable. Therefore, lots of people, almost 10% of the people have migrated to Bangalore or Chennai and neighborhood states like Karnataka and Tamil Nadu for the very low paying daily wage jobs. And when compared to the other districts, literacy rates are also very less. Due to that, we can say it is a backward district.
What newspapers do you read?
Sir, I read Hindu and Reynard, sir.
Well, how much time do you spend on the reading in the newspapers?
Sir, around half an hour, sir.
Presently, the government of AP is in the worst financial crisis.
Yes, sir.
What are the reasons for that?
Sir, the first thing is unscientific bifurcation, sir. It has led the state into, it has resulted the state without capital. Earlier, the Hyderabad used to contribute almost 50% of the revenue of the entire state, sir. Now we don't have such a economic powerhouse. So we want major economic contribution is coming from the agriculture sector itself, sir, because the contribution of agriculture sector has drastically increased to 35%, and services sector has been very less. And due to all the important projects and industries were located in and around the Hyderabad, now we have lost all those sources. Therefore, we have very less tax revenue to be generated in the new state. And one more reason is that recently the government has been implementing a lot of welfare schemes with the aim of improving the human development index and achieving the sustainable development goals. Therefore, there is a shortage of, there is a deficit presently, but it is in the as per it is in the norms prescribed by the RBI. Still, it has not reached.
What's the capex in Andhra Pradesh? What's the capital expenditure in the recent past?
In 2023-24 budget presented recently, it was 31,000 crores.
No, I'm talking of the last 3-4 years. Where do you figure in terms of the capital expenditure?
Sir, among all the states.
Among all the states. There was a news
It
item.
was one of the least spent
Why?
states.
Why?
Sir, one reason is what we are denoting as revenue expenditure is also leads to the capital improvements. Suppose we are spending on the education and the infrastructure, which will have multiplier effects. Which
You mean those states which are spending on capex are not spending on education, health?
I don't mean that, sir. But we are spending a little less on capital expenditure, sir. Majorly because we are not able to attract labor-intensive industries in the IT sector. If we can spend amount on that, it would be beneficial for the states.
So your mother tongue is Telugu.
Yes.
What is the classical language?
Classical language, the government of India introduced this invitation for classical language in 2014 or something. I do not recall it, which is been spoken from the very long time, around more than I guess around 1500 to 2000 years. Presently, 6 languages have been
What are they?
Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, and Korea. I'm sorry if I have got everything.
Okay, fine. Okay, you have spent 5 years in Tirupati.
Yes.
Okay, is it a smart city?
Yes, sir. It was selected as a smart cities mission, sir.
Okay.
While I was studying in Tirupati, it was not a smart city, sir.
Okay, so fine. What is a smart cities mission?
The Smart Cities mission was launched with an intent to increase the quality of life in urban landscapes. There are some important aspects which are meant to be developed in urban cities, such as providing amenities, clean water, storm water drains, and efficient transportation, and promoting the renewable energy, and integrating all the services with the help of internet and communication technologies.
Okay. How many smart cities are there in Andhra Pradesh?
Sir, Tirupati, Kakinada, and sorry, sir.
Is Amaravati a smart city?
No, sir. It was not selected in the smart cities mission.
Okay. From that, one can conclude that you are very much interested in sports. Okay. Why India is unable to win Olympic medals compared to China or any African country?
Sir, we have very less amenities at the primary and schooling levels, sir. Because we Indians focus more on education rather than the sports. We focus on education with the aim to get the employment, sir. The sports is not considered as a employment opportunity which will lead to a good employment, and therefore parents focus more on education, sir. And there are even from the government side, there is less emphasis on providing amenities for sports, sir. And there are no PT teachers in all the schools, sir. Only around, if there is a strength of around 400 or something, the PT teacher will be allocated. In all the rest of the schools with the less number of students, there will be no PT teacher. Therefore, from institutional lacuna is there, sir.
Okay. So you are a class leader for 5 years. What is the difference between leader and administrator? Is there any difference?
Administrator has to follow the lead the team within the strict ambit of rules. He has not much discriminatory powers, sir. Whereas the leader is in the a leader can be in the administration or in a class or in an NGO or something. He has some free will to do the things on his own. He can apply. He can take his own decisions. He can choose his own path. But whereas in administration, the liberty is less.
Okay. So you are part of a green army.
Yes.
Okay. What do you mean by climate change?
So climate change is a sustained change in temperature, global temperatures when compared to the pre-industrialization levels. We are heading for almost, if we do not take any measures to contain this global warming, it is expected to increase up to 2.5 to 3 degrees by the end of this century, sir. The rise in temperatures would lead to the melting of ice caps and flooding of the coastal areas throughout the world, which leads to a lot of displacement of people. And there are also shifts in agriculture patterns, and there would be a increasing number of disasters like cyclones, etc. would be happening, sir, due to the increasing temperatures.
Okay. You said agriculture is unviable and unfold.
Yes, sir.
How to make it viable?
Sir, implementing dry land farming, especially in Anantapur, it is monoculture of groundnut is practiced very much, sir. Monoculture leads to the loss of fertility of soil over a particular period of time. Instead of practicing monoculture, we can go for crop diversification and also substantiate agriculture with other activities such as forestry and animal husbandry, and also practicing some techniques such as organic farming, pre-monsoon dry sowing, mulching to preserve the soil moisture, sir. And also the use of micro irrigation techniques such as drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation would greatly reduce the amount of water required for it, sir. And also millet cultivation would greatly help the farmers, sir, because millets are
Mrs. Bhavani, the Commissioner Horticulture says that Anantapur has witnessed unprecedented horticulture development in the last 4 to 5 years.
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of that?
Yes, sir. Around areas of Tadipatri and Anantapur, there is a increase in cultivation of banana and sweet limes recently. Recently, the produce was even exported to foreign countries. There was even a trying
So what you have already said, it's already taking place, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
In terms of diversification of agriculture.
Yes, sir.
But what about agro-processing?
Agro-processing has not taken much leaps, sir. It is still in an nascent stage. There are no major industries related to agro-processing in Anantapur district as of now, sir.
Bhavani,
Yes,
saying something about green army.
yes, sir.
So why are there so many objections to the new amendments made to the past conservation? What are the amendments that are proposed by the government? What are the objections from the civil society or tribals?
Sorry, sir. I'm not able to recall it at the moment.
Okay. Your hobby is gardening.
Yes, sir.
So what is a charbagh?
Charbagh, sir. It is a gardening style introduced by the Mughals in India with four square parts. In the middle, there would be a water flow and a fountain, sir. The square place is divided into four gardening structures, mostly in the square shape, sir.
Okay. Who ended his book by the famous statement, "We must cultivate our garden." You can not come across that.
Yes,
Okay, you are also interested in painting,
yes, sir.
painting of nature. Who is the famous European painter that was well versed in nature painting?
Vincent Van Gogh.
Why? So, what is so unique about Van Gogh's style of painting?
His Starry Nights was one of the popular paintings, sir. Because as far as I know, it is beyond the imagination of a normal human being, sir. The paintings are so much captivating than the realistic paintings, sir. He uses the imaginative aspect much more than the realistic aspect, sir.
Okay. What is the special features of Michelangelo paintings?
Sorry, sir.
Did you see the paintings of Sistine Chapel?
I have seen, sir, but I do not know the distinctions. I practiced painting only as a hobby, not as a strict
Okay, you are also
academic perspective, sir.
well versed in chess.
Not
So,
well
throw
versed.
light on the origin of chess, where it was origin, where it was born. What is the history of the world chess?
Sir, there is a mention of Chitranga in Mahabharata, sir. It was also practiced in China and Japan in ancient communities with different styles, sir. In India, it was it was being practiced from the time of Mahabharata. Sir. But present day chess was concluded all the
Mahabharati
rules.
come across chess or dice? Game of dice.
Game of dice, sir. There was also a word called Chaturanga, which is similar to the present day chess. Sir.
So, do you believe that India is the country of origin of the game of chess?
Yes.
Or what is the Shatranj?
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Mr. Bhavani, though India is one of the leading producers of food grains and it has the world's largest public distribution system.
Yes.
But still there are issues like malnourishment, stunted growth.
Yes.
Why? What are the issues?
So it is mainly due to the consumption of a single production, either rice or wheat. Sir. There is no diversification in the diet of people, sir. Especially after the advent of public distribution system, people are getting rice and wheat cheaply compared to the other nutritional aspects such as vegetables and fruits and dry fruits. So people used to the consumption of rice and wheat on a daily basis. Therefore, essential nutrients required for the body are missing. And there is also a lack of awareness among the people on what is a healthy diet, sir. We need that food diversification and food fortification in order to improve the nutritional standards of our children.
So what are the programs or schemes initiated by the central and state governments towards prevention of these malnourishment and standard growth in the children?
Sir, food fortification has been introduced, sir. And recently, Portion Abhiyan scheme was introduced by the central government, sir. And also Portion Plus Abhiyan, and there is, I'm not able to recall the exact name, sir, but government has set targets for reducing the anemia, stunting and wasting of the children on every year up to 25% to 30%. The government has targeted to reduce the malnutrition by 25 to 35%. So, and when coming to the state government, the state government is implementing Jagannath Gaurmudha scheme with the diversified diet in schools, and also providing ragi java, chickpea, and other which enhances the nutrient intake of the children. So,
What about Jal Jeevan Mission, immunization programs?
yes, sir. They also help in yes, sir. Clean hygiene and sanitation would also improve the nutritional intake capacity and improve the health of the children. So,
Okay, what was the contribution of Satisfied Baba to Anandapur as well as Anandapur district, particularly to the present Satisfied district?
sir, Sati Sai Baba Charitable Trust is instrumental in supplying water to almost 32 lakh people in Anandapur and surrounding areas, especially in the present region. I don't remember the name of the project, but it was it supplies water to Kadri, Puttaparthi, and all the surrounding drought-prone areas. And this trust also runs super specialty hospital at Puttaparthi, which provides world-class facilities to the especially backward region of Anandapur and surrounding areas. The trust also runs schools in Puttaparthi and Institute of Higher Learning in Anandapur, and there is a music college in Puttaparthi, which greatly helpful for the backward region of Anandapur.
Okay, being a deputy president, you might have come across that reserve program in this
Yes.
government of Andhra Pradesh.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that this reserve is going to resolve all the civil disputes?
Sir, it was meant to resolve all the disputes, sir. Not all civil disputes, sir. Sir, there are two types of disputes.
Civil disputes related to the land.
Yes, sir. It was meant to solve majority of the disputes in general pertaining to the land, sir. But there are still certain issues, sir, which would be solved over a period of 3 to 4 years, sir. It would not immediately solve all the problems, sir. Because the earlier land survey was carried before 100 years, sir. There are many changes that has happened in the gap of 100 years, such as classification of land has changed, boundaries have changed, and that time precision was not there while doing the survey. At present day, we are conducting the survey with the help of rovers and drone. Therefore, an accuracy up to the 10 centimeters level is guaranteed now, sir.
Yeah.
Therefore, there is an extent mismatch between the then land and now. Therefore, farmers are complaining that my land earlier I used to have a 1 acre land, now I'm
That's
getting
what
only
I
90%.
heard that it's going to create more number of disputes rather than resolving the existing disputes.
It was not a dispute in this real sense, sir. It only changes the number. It is an enjoyment service, sir. Whatever the farmer shows, these are my boundaries. The survey team will conduct the survey and measure the land and show them this is the extent of land you have.
Yeah, I think that finishes the discussion. Yeah, would you like to give your inputs?
Bhavani, okay, very good, Bhavani. You are very cool. Your voice is also good, but raise a little bit, not much, very little, and sit comfortably. First point. So you are somewhat leaning towards the front. It's not necessary. Sit comfortably. Second, when you are giving long answers, you look towards all the members instead of looking at the same person. So you also look so that the other members might feel that they are ignored. So if it is a short answer, look to him. Otherwise, when you are giving a long answer, look to all the others. And take care of Anandapur district, prime minister schemes, AP issues. and read the newspaper well, because you may be getting questions from the newspapers also. Just before the day before the interview, or on the day of the interview, etc. And revenue department and revenue deficit is very important for you. And corruption and other issues, take care of it, because revenue department, lot of corruption is there. For that, you must go for smart governance. What is good governance is there, smart governance is there, simple, moralistic, responsive, transparent administration is there, that accountable, etc. You have to take care of that. And government recently introduced 100 so that issues also you may get it. So bifurcation problems, you take care of that. And revenue department, because you work in revenue department for long, there are so many issues are there. The latest is the survey of the lands just now asked. And another important issue is the volunteers issue. The most volatile issue of the state is volunteers issue. And another issue is capital issues. And while dealing all this, do not criticize the government and do not come to quick conclusions. You said recently when Sir asked, you said there is no corruption at all in revenue department. So
I didn't say that.
so don't come to quick conclusions, because very senior officers will be there on the board, and it is not good, and they may think that you are bluffing. So you accept it. See, when somebody is doing corruption, why you don't bother? So you inform them, but you say that you stick to your question, and you will try to reduce the corruption to the maximum. And finally, bring the topic to a logical end. Don't cut each other. Okay?
You want to say anything? Yes.
Now, what I observed is,
And God.
while you are giving the answer, don't make it look like giving the answer in the classroom. Make it a bit conversational. Take care of it. If you put little pauses in between, that will give that flavor. And one important thing is, as the soon as the member finishes the question, immediately shooting the answer. Take a pause. That gives an impression that you are a thinking person. You are not giving any pause between the question and the answer. So immediately you are jumping onto the answer. Though you have a ready answer, you are confident of the answer, it is not the way. And one more thing, when you are looking so confident, when you are giving a very good answer, when you are having a proper answer, you are looking diffident. You are losing your confidence. Especially that why you are answering the last question. So suddenly you slow down your pitch, your volume, everything was slowed down. That is not an ideal way of should look the same throughout the interview. And one thing, 2 or 3 times you are looking towards the wall. Instead of that, you can look towards the members. Sir also reminded the same thing. No? Not many times, only once or twice. It will be very awkward looking at the same person for long answers. Obviously, every human being is tempted to look away. Then you look towards other members.
So, while introducing yourself, also mention your hobbies. That is part of personality. So, you must mention. And secondly, so when Sir asked about ethics, whether levels of ethics is coming down or not, accept it. It doesn't mean that somebody coming from IIT is having higher risk because standards.
I didn't mean to say that, sir. And there are high-paying jobs for this service, so there is less chance for doing corruption.
No, there is also happened that there are more chances to get more money.
So, be practical. That's what I meant. Okay. And also, you have sometimes deviated from the question. Do not do that. So that's it from my side.
Yeah, Bhavani, you give the impression of being a good, conscientious human being, which is, I think, basically essential. And you also give the impression of being very candid about issues, and your knowledge is good. The only thing is, in your form, you have mentioned far too many things. This is a way of leading the board. When you write down a lot of these issues, you have gone into too many issues. Please think about it. If you want to lead the board in all of them, by all means do that. But you may get caught. If somebody is very knowledgeable, he will try to find out more and more about that. If you are doing it as a matter of strategy, fine. But otherwise, see whether you can limit your interest to 2 or 3 items where you are very comfortable and lead the board, because these are given to elicit your personality.
Now, sir, I really practice painting very much. I'm very
that
much
is
interested, but I do not know much about the.
that's okay. You are not supposed to be a master of that art.
Correct.
And I do not know much about that.
Sorry,
Just,
what
All that I am trying to say is it's an opportunity for you to spell out 2 or 3 items, not go into too many details so that you don't get caught. That's the only point. If you do it, I mean, as a matter of strategy, you are comfortable, by all means do it, but be clear.
If you mentioned gardening, you mentioned green army, but you are not thorough with the forest amendment right now.
So that's what I'm saying. 2 or 3 items, lead the board, and then that's a different. That's
Then
it.
you can lead the discussion to Forest Rights Act, tribal things. If you are comfortable enough, you can lead the board. That's what Sal is thinking.
Good. And then you must be a little more of movement, as he said. See others. That will be. And you have a lot of advantage in the sense that you are an engineer. There will be questions asked about electronics, electricals, etc. There will be questions on artificial intelligence, questions on the integration of artificial intelligence into your own working kind of a situation. So please be thorough. And your knowledge of Anantapur, the stalwarts of Anantapur in terms of literature, in terms of politics also is relevant. You have people like Ralapalli Anantakrishna Sarma, you have people like Kallur Subbarao, you have people like Neelam Sanjeev Reddy, Tarimala Nagireddy, all of them. I think you need to be there. Good. Well done. All the best. You are already there in a job. It's only an upgradation. Somebody may also ask you, you are already a deputy tahsildar, why do you want to be a deputy collector? Be ready for an answer. You say it will give me an advancement in terms of my career and things. Okay, right. Good.
thank you.
All the best. God bless you.
Thank you.